What's up guys, coming to you with a new review of a Secretlab chair. Now my last review of the Titan cookies and cream hit, so I bought another one and I'm coming to you with the Secretlab Titan XL 2020 in stealth. So let's waste no time and get straight into it, let's go. So straight off the bat, there's a couple of things I'm going to address right here. If you want to see a comparison between the Titan XL and just the Titan, and maybe comparing the stealth leather to the cookies and cream soft weave, I'm doing that in a different video, so hit the link down in the description or up here, that's right there. But hey, why not watch this one first and then throw it over to that one next. So for the Titan XL, I'm going to put this in two parts. I'm going to sort out looking at the chair first and then the material second. So we're going to look at the Titan XL and kind of its merits and maybe its demerits, and then we're going to evaluate kind of the look of the thing, the materials it's made of, and go from there. So I think the first thing to address here is the size, because this is the Titan XL. So clearly its main selling point is that it is big. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you it is big. It's a wide chair. Now, as you can see when I stand up, I'm a big guy. So as you can see, I'm gonna need a bigger chair generally. Now, both the Titan and the XL are graded for people of my height and my weight. So just to fill you in, I'm 6'5", which is like 195 centimeters. I'm 110 kilos, which is like 240, 245 pounds. So that should give you an idea of kind of what we're dealing with here. So that's why I've gone for the XL. The big thing here is whether it fits my proportions, because it's one thing to have a big chair, it's another to have one that kind of works for a bigger guy. So there's a couple of things I look for. How I sit in it and how I end up sitting in it, more importantly, because once you've sat in a chair for 5 hours, you're gonna be sitting in a different position to when you just sat down. You know, if you just sat down, you're kind of getting comfy, but then maybe after like 5 hours of gaming or editing or whatever, you're starting to slouch. So how does that work? Now, the beautiful thing with any Secretlab chair is the adjustability. It's the fact that you can change how far apart the arm rests are. You can change the height of it compared to your desk. And that's so important, but there are limits to that. Like if I had a tiny little chair for a 70 kilo person, much love to my 70 kilo peeps out there, but that isn't me. If I had a tiny chair, there's only so much adjusting I can do. If these bits are like resting on my leg, that's gonna just bug me after a while. So the beautiful thing here is that you have that space to play with in the XL. And just a kind of a quick glimpse into reviewing it compared to the Titan, it's a darn sight bigger than the Titan. So this is made for big people. Now, if you are one of my 70 kilo peeps, don't buy this chair. Get the smaller one. Like, you may think you want a bigger chair, but this thing, it's gonna swallow you up and you're not gonna get the benefits of the Secretlab design. So the main thing with Secretlab is its ergonomic design. So this thing, as I sit in it, it kind of hugs around. You've got this kind of panel here that comes around the side, gives you that good lumbar support, and then the adjustability to be able to make it work for you. So if we're talking about size, like, look, it's gonna fit you if you're a big guy. This is the biggest model they make, and I feel like this is gonna work for those bigger people out there. So next up, we're gonna look at the build quality. Now this is something that's apparent when you're building it. As soon as you bring it out of the box, there's attention to detail. And that's like, if you spent $300, $400, $500 on a chair, like you want to be impressed. Well, no, you need to be impressed, otherwise it's going back, right? So when you open the box, you can see there's this big, really good quality instructions manual. It walks you through everything. Everything's really well packaged. But more than that, as you're building it, you get an idea for how solid this is. So if you're looking to upgrade from like a normal office chair, you just have a look at that chair and just kind of see how it's built. You know, you've got your Allen key screws around. The Secretlab, it's next level. Like every single piece of it is solid, it's sturdy. So I've been using these chairs for a little bit now. And with a normal, like kind of off the shelf chair, if you like, after a while, things are gonna kind of work loose. You're gonna need to retighten a bolt. You're gonna need to do all of that. Maybe you need to like clean it and stuff, but like, honestly, after a year and a half of using these chairs, none of that. I haven't had to touch it. You know, maybe give it a little bit of a clean every now and again, but like, that's just from regular use. It means that like you can trust that this thing, though it might cost you more, it's gonna last. So, you know, if you wanna buy cheap, you're buying twice. So why buy two chairs like 1 year after the other when you could just kind of get the one that works? The other thing that's noticeable when you've got good build quality is kind of the movement in the chair. Now, so I've got everything locked in place right now. Now, of course, a bunch of stuff is adjustable, but I got it locked in place and there's no like give, because that's what I want. I want it to be solid. If I'm like engaging in something on my computer, I don't want like, you know, kind of movement. If I'm gaming or something, you want to just be in the same place and stay there. When you've got a cheap chair, like you can tell there's just kind of some like movement there that you don't want, or it's really hard to explain this without experiencing it for yourself, because when I had a cheaper chair, like I could have sworn nothing was wrong with it. Like, and realistically, it's a chair, it does the job, I can sit on it. But it's when you sit in a good chair like this, you can tell the difference and you realize all those things that you didn't realize you were missing, right? Which brings me on to the one thing that bugs me about this chair, and then we'll roll into the looks of the thing. So we've talked about the attention to detail, we've talked about the kind of the build quality of it. Now, if I'm spending 500 bucks on a chair, which I have, you want it to be perfect, and it isn't. If I spin this thing around, see if you can spot what's wrong with it. What's going on here, Secretlab? Why is this bit white and this bit gold? Clearly that's all supposed to be gold. But I've gone for the black and gold aesthetic. I love it. Now as I walk in through that door back there into my office, boom, there's an inconsistency. Clearly it doesn't bother me there being white. Do I think that's typical of Secretlab? No way, because their stuff is really good. But again, I think when you've paid this amount of money for a chair, you've got the right to be picky, right? Anyway, it's not a big deal, but it's not, you know, it's not inconsequential either. So that brings me on to the colorway itself. So I'm gonna just get out of this chair so that you can have a look at it. Now I love the black and gold. I think it's great. But what really gets me about this is the carbon fiber aesthetic on the base. That's so clean and just so nice. I love carbon fiber. Here's my carbon fiber pen right here. I love it. I didn't know from the pictures that that was there, but with that red stitching, so nice. I do wish it was gold stitching, but you know, maybe that's unachievable. Maybe it was a design choice. I'm not a designer. I would have loved for that to have been gold stitching. However, at least it's not white. Now, generally, I don't tend to go for leather chairs. Now that's a personal choice. I don't like, if I'm wearing a t-shirt, I feel like I'm gonna stick to it. And it's all, you know, we're in April, it's getting hot, okay? So as soon as I go to wear shorts or a t-shirt, I feel like I'm gonna stick to this. Now you might be having a really intense session on some game, or like you're sweating it out on some editing. You don't wanna be like, ugh, this chair's gone all sticky. Now, I can't say 100% that I've sweated it out in this chair yet, but I don't get the impression that it is that same kind of leather, which was my worry when ordering this. But I was like, damn, that black and gold looks sick. I think I might have to go for it anyway. So as we're kind of wrapping this thing up, I just want to like talk about the kind of overall feel of this chair and the price. Now I've done a separate video on whether Secretlab is worth it. You know, you're spending a lot of money on these chairs, but just to kind of like recap, this thing, it's a nice chair. It's a nice place to be. And I think that's so important when you're talking about maybe spending hours, days at your desk. Now you could spend a couple of $100s on improving your graphics card, or kind of, you know, buying something else for your computer that's going to improve quality, maybe getting that new 4K screen. But you got to remember, you as a person, as the operator, are the biggest variable in anything you do. And being comfy, being fresh is so important for that. If you're spending hours and hours and hours in one place, you need to think about what that does to your body, not just for while you're at the computer, but for the rest of your life. If you're going home and you're sore because you've been sat in like a bad position, unknowingly, you know, it might not feel that uncomfortable, but if you're in a bad ergonomic position for maybe years at a time, if your job is spent in an office chair, you could be doing yourself harm. And that's not an over exaggeration. I'm a professional athlete, so I'm kind of aware of what things do to my body. But like, I know from when I've had like cheaper chairs, if I spend more than an hour or two in a wrong position, I'm foam rolling just to get that soreness out of my thighs or whatever might have done it. And I have not had a single problem with that with this chair or my previous one. So I think if you're looking to spend a couple of $100 and you can afford it, go for it, because honestly, this chair it's great. Now you might be wondering, is he just giving this thing a glowing review? Now I'll level with you. This is my second Secretlab chair. I spent nearly $1,000 on their products. I wouldn't do that if I didn't think they were excellent. Like, it is honestly such a good chair. In my last review of the Titan, I couldn't find the lever to do this. Don't worry guys, I've sorted that out now. And realistically, I'm racking my brain to think what I don't like about this chair, because I want to tell you that. If there is anything, it's the stitching on the back. Also, now my only gripe as a bigger guy and as a heavy guy, it seems like the arm of this chair hasn't been changed in quality between that of a lighter person. So if I lean on it, of the Stealth model. So I'm just going to pause my current video right there, and you may have heard the click as this adjusted as I leant over on it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now, back to the video I was recording. So as I rack my brain trying to think of like bad things to say about this chair, all I can think of is that sometimes the arm gives way and the stitching on the back isn't perfect. And that's me really trying to think of bad things about this chair. So that should be a testament to how good it really is, that I want to tell you bad things so that you know that I'm not just praising this chair, and I pretty much can't. So realistically, you can buy in confidence if you're looking at this chair. I have, heck, I've done it twice. Last, but by no means least, could you do me one huge favor? If you're looking to buy this chair, a different Secretlab chair, any of them, hit the link down below. That really helps me out, because I can earn a bit of money back off buying this chair, and it just helps me bring more reviews out like this to you. Doesn't cost you anything, just hit that link once, and if you ever buy a chair, it helps me out massively. Number two, if you could hit that subscribe button down below, it would mean a lot. If I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna give away a Secretlab chair. So hit that, help the community, help me, and who knows, you could be in with a shot of winning one of these chairs totally free. You can do your own review. Thanks for watching, guys. If you think this was interesting, this channel is full of anything that I think is cool. From Secretlab chairs to all this cool stuff behind me. I'm also a professional bobsledder, so I throw videos up of the inside of bobsleigh and what it's like to hurtle down an ice track at nearly 100 miles an hour. So hit subscribe. I'm gonna be giving you a bunch of cool content. Either way, have a wonderful day, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.